This is a message from your guides reading for Still Awakening. So I have three crystals here, a little different than what I have been pulling, I'm pretty sure, except maybe the obsidian. I don't know. I'm not sure if I've used this or not. Okay, so obsidian, so obviously deflecting negative energies, and it feels like protection. And then I have my sunstone here. So sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra. There's a lot of solar plexus energy with this. This has to do with self-esteem, breaking free of what others think. This is always this kind of message with you that comes in a lot. Okay, and then this has to do with releasing, trusting. This is zoisite. So I've got obsidian, sunstone, and zoisite. So also I've chosen three stones. I felt to draw three, and I feel like there's a feeling with that as well. There's something about a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So it feels like kind of the completion of some cycles. I do feel like your throat chakra is opening up more. I feel like it's expanding a bit. I feel like you were stuck in a lot of things, but you are slowly pulling out of those things. I feel like it's gradual. It's not immediate. It's not like, woohoo, I am totally different overnight. I think your guides even said that during one of your readings, that it is kind of a continuation. One of them saying continuation. It's not really gradual. Um, or I mean, it's gradual. It's not really um, like rapid fire. And it's like you have to take your time with it. And that's the way that he's showing me like an ironing board. Um, you want to take your time with it so that you like smooth out all the creases. You don't want to go too fast because then you might end up going over one of the creases and you end up kind of smudging it in, or you can end up burning the shirt. So you can't go too fast. And it also means that you have to literally look at everything. You have to look at every little detail and you have to be very precise. So you have to make sure you're ironing the shirt where it goes over all the creases. You're not missing anything. You're not skipping out on anything. Otherwise, you're just going to have to put it back on the ironing board. So there's definitely some fire energy coming in too. So even that, I feel like with the sunstone as well, as he's referring to it like an ironing board. So it's like a heat that is passing through all the creases, smoothing them out. So it's clearing them. So this is like a kind of cleansing fire type of energy that's there. So fire is very cleansing, and that's how he's referring to it as heat. Water can be cleansing as well, but sometimes with fire, you can kind of think of a masculine thing. You can definitely think of a feminine thing too. It kind of depends on the angle where you're looking at it from, in a way. But you think of things like courage, and breaking free with fire. Also, things like passion and dominance and being forthright, being being forthcoming, being strong. Uh, in your own foundation of who you are, your own purpose. So your guides are saying that it's really like about having a tunnel vision. It's really about forming a tunnel vision. Like, this is who I am, and you're very centered and focused. And no matter what anybody else throws at you, or no matter what anybody else says or thinks or their opinion, they can just shut up because it's not really going to come towards you when you have this certain view of yourself. You know who you are, and you know that you've let certain things go. So certain things are in the past, they're behind you. I feel like there are some things that you're still coming out of. There's some things that you have fully come out of, and I feel like your guides don't want you to step back into those things. So it's about having this like tunnel vision. Um, some voices, it's about just stepping away from, like they've mentioned before, I'm pretty sure, um, not giving your ear to them. And that's specifically the way that he is saying it. He's coming in with some things kind of clairaudiently. He has this kind of mysterious sounding voice, this guide. This has got to be one of your master guides. He's saying this also means being very still. Um, okay, the other reason that I feel like they're using fire as opposed to water is also I feel like it is more masculine programmings that they're cleansing as well. And that's another reason why he's referring to fire for the cleansing versus water for the cleansing. Because it's not so much like a feminine kind of, it's not really feminine programmings or so much emotions exactly that need to cleanse. He's saying other than fear. But even that can be almost seen in kind of a fiery way, fear. Because there's almost that feeling like a almost like a burning in your stomach with fear. Like fear, anger, those are more kind of fiery things that you think of. Whereas water, you'd more think of something more in here like this: sadness, depression. Something more like riled up, like a fear or an anger. This is more of like a masculine kind of block. But he's saying this is coming from fear. Fear can be feminine as well, because it can definitely make you go kind of inward like this. But you can also act out of fear. You can act out of fear in a lot of different ways. So if you sort of create an extension of yourself out of the fear, you do something outwardly, you step your foot um, out of the fear, not in a way of facing it, but actually almost indulging in it, um, where you feel like you have to be a certain way. And so you actually step into the fear by creating an action. But I feel like those almost pathways are blocked just by voices that you get rid of and that you don't encourage. So he's saying you don't want to almost put fuel in the fire. So he's saying that you can almost think of these voices like a fire because there's a fear with them, and they're anxious, and they're giving into their own fear, and they're giving into their own pressure to listen to an anxiousness and a fear. And they don't realize all that they're holding on to and that they really need to let go themselves. So your guides are saying that you've come a long way, gotten rid of a lot of these voices. I feel like some of these messages before, where they were still going over a lot of things, I still feel like they need to go over some things. They want to keep going over some things and mentioning things to keep reminding you of. Now I get a female guide coming up. This feels like a master guide too. You have, I think, a few different master guides around you. Okay. I don't think I've ever felt her before, but I'm getting sidetracked and I'm running out of, well, I'm already out of time. But I just want to let them finish. So I feel like with the other readings, I feel like the things that they were going over, how they kept going over and over and over certain things. I feel like some of that's coming to an end. And I even feel like some of it partially was more like they didn't want you to ease back into it. I feel like they're a little more aware of how you are a bit more balanced. I feel like you're still less still than you are required to be. Um, it doesn't even feel like right now. It feels like almost like later on. So there's more stillness that almost is required, that you're going to be stepping into more, but it feels like you're still enough where they know that you can't really be pulled as much by certain voices or even opportunities, to step back into an old energy, an old vibration. Okay, so I gotta stop because I'm short on time, but thank you very much for allowing me to do another reading for you, Still Awakening. I truly hope that it benefits you. As always, namaste.